everybody. Welcome back. Today with me, I have the wonderful, super talented, super beautiful Venus. How are you, girl?
Hi, how are you? Oh my
I'm
God.
good.
How you been? Like, oh yeah, I know you had your little gingerbread thing. We just talked about that, but yeah, I'm like, that's like amazing because I love doing stuff like that. I think I might do that this year with all my
You
God kids.
should. Yeah, absolutely. Like, just get a couple different houses. Like I told you off camera, the trick is if you want it to like actually stay, you have to hot glue gun the edges. So like the house isn't all like slanted and all that stuff. So if you got a hot glue gun,
Does
that's like
anybody actually eat gingerbread houses, or we just building it to like for fun? Like,
you could do a little bit of both.
so I'm wondering, like, do people actually really like eat them after they're done like building them, or what?
See, like I told you, mine came broken. So when I opened it, so like the broken pieces, I was eating it today, but I wouldn't ever eat the house because, or not at least like on the edges because it was glued. But my
Yeah.
niece was like just going in on the icing. I'm like, girl, you're gonna get a stomach ache. This is every single year that we do this. So it's like, if it's not the candy or the icing, it's got to be the gingerbread. You got to eat something, right?
Like something out of
Yeah.
that.
Either before, during, or after the process of creating this house, but it's whatever. But yeah, you should do that. It's a fun activity. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's so good. I know. Well, yeah, it's snowy here in Boston, but is not snowing in LA where you are right now.
It's actually pretty hot today. I want to say it was like 70 something today. It was pretty hot.
Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty hot for winter.
huh?
Yeah, for winter, for like a few days before Christmas, and here we are. Like, yeah, I could
I
go to
know
the
I
beach
gotta
right
go back in a few days. Like tomorrow, actually, I have to go back. So I'm like, I'm not ready for the cold.
now. No, I don't blame you. So speaking of, let's dive into that. Where are you going back to? Because that's where you grew up. So let's get started with that because we need to talk about your big transition that happened earlier this year.
Okay, so I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that's where I'm going back to. Just moved to LA. About to be 8 months now. So yeah, it's exciting. I go back home every month though, but like because I do miss like my family, my friends. But like yeah, like I made the big leap this year in 2020 in this crazy time. So yeah.
What crazier time to move than in the middle of the pandemic? Like you said, you moved literally 8 months ago. So it was like in like the real heart of like everywhere, basically being the epicenter, like
Oh my
craziness. How was the moving process? Like, did you find it extra difficult because not only are you moving cross country, but because of all the restrictions on everything? Like, how'd you find the move?
Oh my God. Okay. So, the move, well, especially with the pandemic, I don't even know where to start. I'm so nervous. I'm like, I'm so nervous. But moving in the middle of the pandemic it was definitely difficult because everything was there was such an uncertainty about how things would happen. And if anybody that doesn't know this, like I moved with Tyrone last in game that you interviewed before, and yeah, we were uncertain, but we like made a date for May 2020, and like we actually made a few dates before that, but we kept like but things were popping up, and it wasn't the right time, so we're like, all right, you know what? May 2020 is the day we're gonna move, and that's it. We don't know what's going on, and this is like pre-COVID time, like before even January hit, we said that we're leaving May 2020. And then once COVID hit, boom, we're like, shit, should we like go like now? Is this the right time? And then we're like, you know what? Like we're just gonna go. That's what we said we was gonna do, and we're gonna do it. And yeah, it was hard because it was just the uncertainty of everything. Everything was shut down there. The whole world was on punishment. Like
That's true. That's very true.
everything was like down. We didn't even have like a job set up or anything like that. We had like money saved. So we like, and there was no telling at that point in time, like when it would be over or when would production start again, or what would our next, like what would our job be? So it was a crazy leap of faith. But we got it done. Like we got it done. We just kind of just took a leap of faith and just trusted God and was like, all right, like packed our stuff. It wasn't such a bad trend, like as far as like the process. We kind of like booked like an Airbnb for 2 months and stayed there. And until we figured things out, and like what neighborhood we wanted to live in and things like that, kind of getting the feel of LA. So we just kind of stayed in like a less temporary like living space, until we actually found our apartment. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, of course. But my thought is like, honestly, like, aren't you happy that you did it? Like, yeah, it's nerve wracking and it's in the middle of a pandemic, but like at the end of the day, we're wrapping up 2020 right now. Can't you be like, shit, I am so proud of myself for like making
Yes.
this huge move?
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, so like it was crazy because it's kind of like the day before we moved, like we were moving stuff around, and I got so mad at Tyrone because he because he was taking something to the car, and then there's like the step that he had, it's like not leveled like our old house that we had, and like he like twisted his ankle. He just, I was like, oh my God, the day before we leave, and like it was hilarious, but it was that's kind of what kind of made it hard a little bit because we were trying to, he's so, he's big, and like as soon as he like falls, like nah, yeah.
You're like, I need your muscle and your strength to be moving this
Right,
stuff.
like
You
we had
can't be on the injured list right now, bro. Like, no, I need
right,
you. Yeah.
right. It was hilarious. That was so funny, and like I was, oh my God, because we had stuff to take to the post office because we were like sending stuff to California, like stuff that we couldn't take with us on plane, and I was just like, and it was raining. It was just a whole lot, and like it was a whole lot, but yeah, like it was. We like got on the plane, and then I had to put him in a wheelchair.
Who did not ever know this story? This is like breaking news right now.
We got on the plane, and then we had to I had to get him a wheelchair because he couldn't walk. He couldn't really walk like that, like the distance from where you check in to the plane. Where I just got him a wheelchair. I wish I could show you the clip. I'll show you the clip.
Yes. It'd be exclusive content. And then he'll find out because he'll be watching this, but it's like we won't show anybody else. It'll be kept between the three of us. But
Right. Yeah, and it was crazy. When we got here, it was like it was really late at night. Like we couldn't, like it was weird because it was like we cried on the plane. I'm not gonna lie, we cried on the plane. But I did. I know I did. I was like, oh my God, I'm leaving. And I guess it's like it didn't hit us that we lived here for a minute. And sometimes it doesn't because you feel like at the first 2 months we sat, and like I'm jumping around, but like the first 2 months we sat, and it's like we felt like we were just on vacation. Like we like, okay, we might be going home in a week or something like that. It just didn't feel real. And then there'll be, well, for me, it's like certain random times I'll be like, damn, I live here. I got an apartment here. I got a bill in my name here. I got an address.
yes, a California resident. Finally. Yes.
Like, it'll be little stuff like that, and then or sometimes like I'll be in the car, and I'll be driving, and I'll know my way without the GPS, and I'm like, oh shit, leave me, I know my way.
You're like, oh hey.
Like I know my directions, okay. Like yeah, it's definitely like surreal because it's just like I never lived anywhere else besides Philly. Besides Philly, I was just born and raised there, and like never lived anywhere else. This was like kind of like something that I wanted to manifest for like years, and I kept saying it to people, and then nobody would believe me.
And here you are now, proving them all wrong. So you're like, fuck
Right,
all
exactly.
you. Yes.
Sure. But yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, it's definitely like a dream that I've manifested, and I can't believe like this is something I prayed for. This I'm like, I'm here, like I did it, and like there's so much work to be done. It's like sometimes like I do need to sit back and like enjoy that I'm actually here.
Absolutely. No, you should be proud. Give yourself a pat on the back because it's like huge. I mean, especially like you said, being born and raised in a particular place. It's not like you've moved around and you're like, okay, I know what I want out of a city or what I want. Like you're literally out there because you're trying to chase a dream. You know,
Yeah.
it's not to be like, oh, I hate my friends and family and I want to get away. Like you're doing this to better yourself and follow your dreams. And let's talk about that because it's not like you were just like, oh, I want palm trees and warm weather. Like what brought you to LA? Like that's a huge motivating factor for this move. So we got to talk about that.
Yes. Oh my God. So yeah, so I came to LA to, yes, follow my dreams. I had dreams of just being an actress, being a producer, director, just creating my own stories, just being a creative. So like that's what I came here for. And I knew that like I love Philly and like cuz that's where I'm from and everything, but it's like you really have to go where those opportunities are. And like yeah, that's the and like I like there's definitely a lot of other places that you could have picked. I could have picked like New York and Atlanta, but I don't know. It's just something that called me to LA. So like, and I don't know what it is, but it's here. And until I have a change of heart to move somewhere else, then I will. But I love it here. I love the weather. I love. I'm definitely been networking a lot, meeting new people, like friends. It's different. It's a very it's I can't even describe this experience to you. It's weird. It's new. I'm like, gosh, it's definitely pushing me to a place where I'm uncomfortable uncomfortable and being okay with being uncomfortable too, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, it totally does. And I just think it's like weird because if you were back home and it's like every day, so you have done production stuff, you have done like directing, all of the behind the camera scene,
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff. But I feel like it's a weird sense right now because it's like literally you're living in your dream. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's why it's so weird because it's not just like every day, like, okay, it's a rainy day in Philly and I got to go on this shoot and it's like, wow, this is like weird as hell because I'm actually living out my dream every single day. And that's why it feels so surreal. So, yeah,
Yeah.
like the basic stuff of getting an apartment, having a bill in your name, all that stuff, you're like, wow, I'm a West Coaster now. But like,
Yeah.
actually going on set and doing all this shit, you're like, oh my God, this is
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Like, cause it's like, yo, like you don't get these type of opportunities where I'm from. Like, what you do, but it's like it's not as much as it is here. And then like just like kind of stepping on set, whether if I'm like an assistant, a PA that day or a co PA because I production assist on set. I don't know you were gonna get to that, but production assist on a lot of sets. But you know, just building my name up there and just seeing like how things are done and like just seeing like a certain actor or whoever do what they do, I'm like, dang, it just gives you motivation. And like, yeah, even what you're saying, just living in your dream. Sometimes it's kind of like you like you're so focused on thinking like you're gonna be up here, and then not realizing like not being in the present and just like, yo, like I'm really like living it right now. Like I'm not where I used to be at like last year. Like this is not where I was at last year. Like last year, I was working at a call center. Like I was stuck in one place at a call center and like taking calls, taking complaints.
that sounds so boring. So
It is. And then now I'm just like here, like moving around and like, you know, just learning all these things, like being around people like I never thought I'd be around or you know I'm saying, or like shows that like I never like I watched on TV and like I'm here, like, oh snap, like oh it is kind of surreal. Like then I think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm here.
I'm not in that call center anymore. I'm here
I'm not
on set.
I'm not in the
Yeah,
call
I want to
center.
talk like,
To my desk.
yeah.
I was chained to my desk at the call center. It was horrible.
Yeah, you're like, hell no. So I want to talk briefly about because I know like the opportunities are more scarce and not probably as well known in Philly, but like what were some of the projects that you liked working on when you were in Philly? Because that's really where you got your career started.
Yeah.
So we got to pay homage to that. We can't just be like, oh, I'm in LA, I gotta forget about all that. So like what did you work on that you really loved when you were back home?
Oh man. It's hard to pick like certain projects, but like back home, like we had like a whole little film like kind of tribe. It definitely I love working with Tyrone for sure. Like I worked on a lot of his projects. His first my first time even being on camera doing something was like his project. It was for the breakup. Yeah, this web series with the breakup was him and Janelle was actually starring in it. And it was that, and I played like a featured role on there on this, and like I believe it's the second episode, the speed dating episode. If you see it, like I'm gonna send you the link. But
Yeah, because I've seen some of them because he's been reposting it and she reshared it and all this stuff. So I've been seeing the breakup series, but I'm like,
yeah.
I haven't seen your episodes. So I need to check it out.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was brief. It was my brief little moment in there. But yeah, I was in there. But like I love just working with like your peers and like just your friends, your peers, and just like creating together. Like I love that. And like I was just gonna shout out a couple of people if I can, but like Kyra Knox, Kaija Thomas, Stephanie Janelle, Tyrone, and who else? Chuck. just everybody. Don't charge it to my head, like heart, head, whatever it is. But I just love working with like just networking across and working with like your peers is like the best thing because it's like your friends and you're just creating together. I can't even give you like a title with like all the titles that I've been in because I've been like in a few, but
You've done a lot, which is great though. Like that speaks,
Mhm.
highly of like your passion. Like it's not just like, oh, well, I did one project and I'm like, I got to move to LA. I'm going to be famous. Like, no, you did a ton of stuff to get you where you wanted to be and follow your passion. So, but I also love like just the fact that you shout these people out because Tyrone had similar shout out. Janelle, when I interviewed her in season 1, she had similar shout outs. And it's just nice to see that like you guys want each other to win. Like your crew is not like in competition with one another. You're literally like, we all want to be at the same table and like feast together and like all win. It's not just like, oh, you got this job and I feel some type of way and I'm going to be competitive or I'm going to hate on it. No, like you guys are like really like true creators being in that same space and like just creating magic with each other, whether it is like content or if it's just being friends, so that's bomb.
Sure. It's definitely like a comforting feeling to have like those type of friends and like on your side because it's like you're in a safe place to create or like try something new. If you don't know something, like oh like let me ask this person or that person. Like it's like we all like come to each other and like because we all just want to be better. I'm like yeah like I think you should have put more light on that or like I think you should have did this. Like it's definitely it's definitely like a collective collective thing, and I'm very blessed to like have all of them in my life for sure.
And you're making new friends out there. So let's talk about some of the projects in LA that you've done so far, because you have some pretty notable
Oh,
projects that you've been working on. I'm like, we got to shout out all the good stuff that you've been working on since your move.
oh yeah, for sure. So since I've been here, I haven't done any acting yet. I am working on that now. I just like kind of still wanted to settle in, but like working on set is just as great. But the first project that I did out here was for Nike, and it was for the Kobe commercial that came out on his birthday, and me and Tyrone actually worked on that. We also worked on the what is it? It was a fashion show it was a virtual fashion show for New York Fashion Week. We did that. I also PA'd for NBA 2K, and currently, oh, also I recently last weekend I did a music video for Bad Bunny. He's a
No
rapper.
way. That's what you were working on. You're like, I'm sorry, I can't do my interview this weekend. I have so much stuff going on. I didn't know it was for that. I'd be like, tell Bad Bunny I said, hola, honey. Okay.
Yeah, it was Bad Bunny. It was cool. It was for his Booker T video. And I think he's a wrestler. Like yeah, I saw Booker T as well there. And for the last month, me and Ty have been working on Dear White People, PAing on there.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah.
My roommate just got into Dear White People. She's like, have you ever seen it before? I'm like, yeah, I like binge watched the first season, kind of got into the second, but then I just got busy and I'm like, it slacked off on it. And I'm like, I gotta get back into because it is a good show. So I'm glad that you guys are working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show, and honestly, it's a great like crew and cast too. Like they treat you good there. like not to bash like certain like places that I've seen or like experienced, but like sometimes like it can be so fast and like some of them can be rude. Like sometimes like people that you like just people period like whatever like and it's not your fault. It's just whatever pressure that they're under. They might not stop to talk to you or tell you how to do a certain thing, but like they're so helpful behind the scenes. I'm like, and then they all like want to make sure you eat and stuff.
They're like big brothers and big sisters. You're like, oh my God, you guys are treating me so well. And you're going to make sure I'm fed. Like, thank you,
It's amazing.
Don't get too spoiled because I'm going to tell you probably not every set is going to be like that. So you're going to be like, go like back, please.
But they're so nice. They're so nice. And I'm like, everybody like really like talks to you and like gives you advice. And like, I really like it. I really like it there. So, yeah. So I worked there for maybe like another month or so, but like I hope they call me back because I'm definitely going to work for them again.
They will. Yeah. So Yeah, I would say, all right, so you're getting your feet wet, like behind the scenes. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly pull it out of my ass right now. If you were to get your first acting gig, do you want it to be like in LA, I should say? Do you want it to be like a commercial, TV, movie? Like, what would you say like your dream first gig would be? Because obviously we know your dream, as a whole, but like we got to do baby steps. So, what would you say you want to
I
work
wanna,
on?
I would love to do like my first one. Like, ooh, dang, hold on.
I told you I wasn't going to ask hard questions to
But
make
I
you.
want to say I want to work on a show, but like I want to work on a show, but I'm like, dang, should I get my feet wet before I go on the show? I should just go for the gusto. But I would love to work on I would love to act on Insecure.
Dream come true. We have to tag Issa Rae and be like, Issa,
Like,
please, we have somebody so
right,
talented that we
right.
need
Like,
to
throw
get
me
on
in
your show.
there.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if I don't think they've started filming right now. So I'm like,
Yeah, I actually have a friend that's working on it now, and like
oh,
yeah, I think they're shooting sometime soon. Like, but they're like in production right now.
okay,
But
because I was gonna say if they could do some last minute edits to the script and kind of like throw you in there, even if it's like if like Issa was still like the property manager and you were a tenant, like let's just even get you started and then you somehow build a friendship with her. Like let's let it
right,
grow over time.
right, tag her, let her know. Like you
Right.
gotta know. You gotta tag them. But yeah, like put me in there, Issa. Like, I don't care if I got one line. Just put me
And then give me multiple lines the following season because we're gonna become friends.
but I'll be okay with one. But like throw a little lines in there.
Well,
But
Molly's getting replaced, so we got to make room for Venus or whatever
right,
your character's name's gonna be.
right, exactly. Throw me in there. Come on, Issa. Like you need a friend like me. You need a friend like me. Hey,
Everybody needs a friend like you, both on camera and off camera.
exactly.
So,
That's what I said. So yeah,
yes.
that would probably be what I'll be like. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you did get your feet wet recently with acting, so we can't like totally brush that away, but tell us about the quiet birthday thing
Okay.
that you did. Yes, let's talk about that.
Okay. So the quiet birthday, one of my friends from Philly, Kaija, she asked me to be a character in like this kind of like short, very, very short film that she had. That one of her friends created. I cannot remember her name. I cannot remember her name who wrote it, but she I'm giving her a shout out, whoever she is, I can't remember her name. But basically I play Holly, and my backstory in it, you can't really say, well, it's slightly in there, but like basically I broke up with my boyfriend in there, and like I broke up with my boyfriend. I'm like kind of going through it, like each of us are going through something, and like we're at a birthday party, and then we're like turning up and all that, and then we just like, I don't know, like we just kind of like settle down, and then it's just all this drama that happens after that. But yeah, that's me. But
That's me. Guilty. I'm Holly. Thank you.
yeah, that's me. But oh yeah, I don't drink, but I'll do a little something else. But yeah, totally get drunk. I'm like doing karaoke, just acting a fool because I'm hurt. So
Interesting. So people got to check this out. Where can we actually find A Quiet Birthday? Is it on YouTube
it
or?
is yeah, I believe it is. It's a link in my bio. So please look at my bio for Instagram. I can't like think of it right now. It should be on Instagram if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, perfect. No, it's fine because I'm like asking you all these questions. All of a sudden, you're like, I don't know. I didn't think about this. I'm thinking about dear white people right
Yeah,
now and Insecure. I'm not thinking
I know.
about anything else.
I know. And on top of that, I'm like totally nervous and just don't shit.
No, 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 no need to be nervous. Like I told you. I mean, like
I know
I
it's
know.
just me and you. It's just me and you. I'm just like I don't know. Because me, I'm just so awkward, and then you know how it is. We just talked about it. Like it's just like it's weird when people like ask you the questions. You're like, wait, am I that interesting? Like,
Yes, you are, first of all. So to
thank you.
answer that question, no, but it's all right. I'm like, I love being awkward. I thrive on being awkward. So I'm like, any weird moments or experiences, I'm like, yeah, because it's so
Yeah.
creepy, but it makes us so human. Like if we were gonna be like so perfect, what's the fun in that? So
Okay.
whatever. And I think you're doing fine, so don't worry about it. I'm like, throw as much random shit out as you want, girl. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm here to ask you questions because I know a lot of like the backstory of like moving, and I know like what you've been working on, like, you know, the Kobe, the Nike, the deer wiping. Like I knew some of that stuff, but it's good to hear more in depth. So thank you for
Oh,
sharing.
yeah. I can go deeper in that. I don't know what else you want.
Okay, so what's your social security number? No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't do that.
You're like, not that deep, Katie. Back the fuck up. Back up.
Not that deep.
So,
But yeah.
I love it. So do you imagine yourself living in LA for like at least like 5 years now? Or do you want to like kind of explore and see like where the opportunities are?
No, it's crazy because like the hardest thing, like I feel like a person that being on the other side now, it's like I can move anywhere now. I feel like, and like, cause it's just like once you like me coming from Philly and not moving anywhere else or living anywhere else, it's scary to just move to a random place like all the way across the country, like all the way across the country. Like, how will I ever do that? Like that was so self doubting of me, like forever. Like how am I? What if I go broke? What if I'm? How am I gonna get a job? Like just all these things, and like once I quiet those down and like I made that leap of faith to LA, I'm like, yo, like I moved all the way across the country. What makes me think that I can't move somewhere else now? So I don't know, like, cause it's just I think it's just whatever feeling that I get, but I don't mind staying here for the next 5 years, but I also don't mind moving either. Cause I literally just had this conversation with Kaisha. It's funny. Cause she was like wondering like where she wanted to make that leap of faith too and didn't know where. And I was like, move to both. I'm like, if you don't like this one place, if you move to one place, stay there for a year, and if you don't like it, move somewhere else. Like move for another year. And it's just like, you're gonna spend a little money, but I mean, if you're not happy, move somewhere else. And I think like we just all have like one life, and like you create your life and you create this experience. So it's kind of like if you want to do something, do that shit. Like so that's where I'm at with it.
Good. And speaking of doing that shit, we need to talk about you now being on camera, but in a different way, because you have your own new show that you've launched recently, Life on Venus. So I want to talk about that a little bit, if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
yeah, of course. So I started my platform channel Life on Venus. Yeah, so honestly, I like it's crazy because like I really made it for myself and not other people, but I want other people to see it. But like
We'll get your viewership up. Don't worry. We'll get your viewership.
that's probably like the probably at maybe like the mid bottom of my like totem pole of like what I think is important. But really, like my whole show is like me just kind of getting like comfortable with myself. And like I know like as like an actor, like like I play all these different people, but it's kind of like me myself. I'm kind of like private, so or like I don't say too much of things, or I only say like a certain amount because I always was very like secretive, or not secretive, but just like protective of
Yep.
myself or like my privacy and stuff. But like I always felt that maybe like my story can help others, or even just me just getting rid of my shyness of like being transparent. So it's just me being awkward on camera and comfortable trying to be uncomfortable being uncomfortable on camera. But I do want it to be more than that, with me just talking about life and my life experience. Like I definitely want to start doing my interviews on there, which I plan on doing next year. Well, the coming year coming up, just interviewing like dope people, seeing dope places. I definitely plan on traveling a lot more next year. So I definitely do want to have like a travel part into it. So, because
I can't
I
wait
did.
to see all of this happen on camera. I'm so excited to see like all your adventures that you're going to be having on your
Oh
show.
yeah, I'm so excited, and like I'm so excited, and like I plan on like taking my first solo trip soon, so I like definitely want to document that. I would document that and show that to you guys. But like just I just it's my life on Venus, so it's just like whatever like comes out or whatever random shit that comes out. So whatever, feel like I might film a music video and throw that on there one day, or do a short film and put it on there, or just talk like this, or like do an interview like this. It's like kind of whatever until like I figure out what I really want to do with it. But but I mean, yeah, that's gonna be my random life on Venus.
Which is great because we get to know more about you, but on your own terms. So not being like in the hot seat, like I'm grilling you with these questions. It's on
Yeah,
your own terms.
I like that. Go ahead.
No, but the reason why I literally just jumped from like talking about like, you know, you and your friend moving to now about your show, because it has a common denominator, which I know you're going to try your hardest to leave in 2020, which is a self-doubt. So
Yeah.
it's like that self-doubt of like thinking I can't move across the country. I can't do this. I can't get out of my comfort zone, to all of a sudden you can't get out of your comfort zone now, putting yourself out there in a different way. So it's like you've really grown a lot in 2020. So you should be proud of yourself.
You know, now somebody else is saying it. You know what? You're right, Katie. I like you.
I like you too, girl. You know I love you, but that's what I'm thinking about. That's why I was like, you know, you're sitting there like talking about self-doubt, and I'm like, wait, we got to back up because we were talking about other projects, but we got to talk about Life on Venus because I know that was huge for you, because I know that you had filmed that first episode, back in like June, and you just released it.
May, June, I filmed that, and I had different hair and everything, and I was like, I filmed it, like me and Tyrone filmed it, and I was like, I put it out there in our group, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put it out soon, and then I'm like, wait, I don't know. I was like, I don't even know what to say next. What am I saying in my next video? Like, I'm just like having all these different thoughts. Like, I wasn't sure. Then like certain things was getting away, like little life stuff, like I was trying to find an apartment, things like that. Like that was going on, and like it was like some technical difficulties because I had filmed another episode but it didn't come out right, and it's like it was just all that stuff. And I was like, I was just taking my super long time that I've taken to film the next episode. But I don't know. I think one day I was like, you know what? Let me, like, I've been here 6 months and like I had that video. Let me just put it out there and then just see where it goes and keep going. Like see where it goes and keep going. Let me just stop being scared.
But that's what you did. That's exactly what you did. You let go of the self-doubt and you're like, yes, I don't care that I filmed this months ago and I have blonde hair. I don't care. Let me just put it out. And I think that was like kind of like what started the fire, to be like, no, I'm really gonna get Life on Venus going now.
Right. I know.
Like, be proud of yourself. I'm like punching my thighs, like, be proud of yourself. But you should be. All right. So because we're ending 2020 soon, is there anything else that you want to leave in 2020?
Oh my God, so much. I think let me see. Definitely self-doubt, procrastination, just the being perfect and having things right. Definitely I guess definitely just putting others before, like, or other things like work or whatever before myself, and like just putting myself first. So that's my goal for 2021, just putting myself first. And I guess just just leaving that in 2020 for sure, because this has been such a unpredictable, fearful year, and like I definitely like said fuck fear a couple times this year, so like for sure. So yeah, all I do is take leaps of faith sometimes. You just gotta push yourself off the cliff for a lot. So like I definitely did that this year, so I definitely got over that.
Well, it's amazing, because otherwise you'd be sitting in Philly like, I wonder what my life would be like if I moved out to LA. Like you'd be full of regret for as long, and like you don't know until you try it. So you'd be like literally sitting there regretting not ever going out. And who knows, you could literally in a few months be like, shit, I hate LA. I didn't realize it. But you did it, you know? So it's like,
at the end of the day,
that's it. And
that's it. Let me go to Atlanta, or let me go to
right. Or let me, like, I hate people so much because LA's so overcrowded. I'm moving to Alaska where there's like 6, you know, the population is 6.
The population is 6, and I'm one of them.
Yeah. It's like, you never know, girl. So what is it that you want to, what'd you say?
Sorry, it was a helicopter. I don't know if you can hear that, but go ahead. But I'm sorry.
No, thank God for Zoom calls. Like it never picks up on the noise, but when I'm like recording my like episodes regularly, it's like a needle will drop and it's like magnified and I'm like, really?
Right.
You know how many times this summer I was sitting on my porch and these cars were driving by? I'm like, so annoying. It's ruining my interview. You can't hear it. I'm like, what the hell? So I cannot hear the helicopter.
like random, like sidebar, like for some reason when there's like a crime that goes on here, they always bring the helicopter out, and it'd be like the smallest thing, and I'm like, what? Like every time. But yeah, it was like one like toiling around. But I'm sorry, go back to what your
Like
question.
a cat stuck in a tree. They're like, get
The chopper
what is
out
it? Get to the chopper. Yeah.
all the time. I'm like, what? Like I'll look at my phone on the Citizens app, like it'll be like something stupid. I'm like, what? And I'm like, is that what that is? I'm like,
You're
yeah,
like,
but
next. Yeah, it's so annoying. All right. So, what are you going to start or decide that you want to take with you into 2021?
okay. So definitely trying to progress my show for sure. Um, Definitely gonna be traveling a lot more. Definitely this is like all like probably personal, but just probably just, just definitely being more aligned, getting more into myself, knowing myself more, because like I'm constantly evolving and just like learning new things about myself. I'm like, damn, like I didn't know I could do that. Like just stuff like that. Just I don't know. I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of random things. Just stuff that just crossing off. I'm crossing off a lot of stuff on my bucket list this year. That was like one of my things. So I'm taking a solo trip. Boom. I'm going like I definitely want to like random, but I do want to go horseback ride. I'll
You'll be
probably
bringing out the helicopter for this. You're like, actually, they're filming my content. So,
my content right now. But yeah, like I want to do like stuff like random stuff like that. Just crossing stuff off my list. Just being more creative. I definitely this year. I definitely want to get my. I have like this series in my head, this show that I've been like kind of harboring on. So like hopefully I like get that out this year. Well, next year. Like no, I am going to. Let me firm that. I am going to put it out next year. And it's like kind of like I don't even want to say what it is because I don't even know what it is. Like stuff down, like I have an idea, but it's basically like bits and pieces about like my life, but like in a very comedic way. But
all right. So, let me put in my calendar for now. I'm meeting with you this time next year. And then you're going to tell me about your show that you're
right.
like, all right, so I sent my script off to HBO and it's going to be premiering ahead of Insecure, which I'm also on. So you get a double dose of Venus.
For sure. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm like, and also if you haven't, watch my commercial that
Exactly. You got all of this. Yes. And you're like, and I just dropped my new skincare line and you're going to be like the next superstar. You better send me your autograph before you blow up. I'll be like, don't forget about us little people over here.
You're gonna be right there with me. What you mean? You're gonna be sitting
there doing you. See, this is why I love you, girl. Now,
like, what are you wearing? I'm like, I'm wearing. You'll be interviewing me.
That would be me. I'm like, girl, tell me what you're wearing.
I'm wearing, just Chanel. like what?
Head to toe Chanel, including perfume and makeup. Yes.
Like all that. Yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be life for sure.
Yes, that is life on Venus right there.
Yes, life on Venus for sure. Yeah, they're gonna definitely see a lot of me like that I want to bring out. It's crazy. The other thing I want to add about that, like people don't know how funny I am, and I'm really funny, but like people don't like my social media doesn't. I feel like my social media doesn't reflect me. Even my show sometimes I'm like I'm still getting used to it. Like well it does a little bit, but like I really want you to like really know me because I'm like I'm funny. I'm hilarious. I'm like I should. I don't know.
You're like I might tell you right now I'm the funniest person I know. So
I'm the funniest person I know. There's me and then there's me, but
we're getting that like proper professional but like warm Venus. I'm like, no, I need like let out the floodgates, funny as hell Venus. I need to see more of that. But that would be great to put it on your show. I know it's like weird because you literally talk to yourself like on a camera or a computer and you're like, oh, this is so weird. I'm never gonna get used to it. But it's like over time, you're like, I'm just gonna do random shit and like throw out a joke. Or 12. What you should just do a whole episode of like your funniest joke. I would watch
it. My funniest jokes. Oh Lord, I'll see. A lot of my stuff are like situational. Like I can explain it. It's like you would have to be in conversation with me, and then like I'll like whatever. Like I don't know. It just pops out. I can't be. It's funny. I'm still trying to like take control of it, like on demand, like on camera when I'm funny. But like I'm funny as hell, like when I'm like in conversation or in situational. Like it'd be like, what did you just say? Like Ty laughs at me all the time. Like the stuff that I say is funny. But
That's
yeah,
why you just like should, it's like kind of like a keeping up with the Kardashians or whatever. You just got to have the camera on 24/7. It's like you guys are making breakfast, you guys are watching TV. It doesn't matter. Like you just film your whole life like a
I
Big Brother
know.
type
I'm
situation.
still getting used to like when people like just like talk on camera, like their phone, like, hey you guys. Like I'm still getting used to that.
Yeah, or
Like
like even like walking down the street and just like not even caring, and they're like, I'm gonna take a
like, so
selfie.
you guys, so today we're gonna go. Like I'm just walking and going shopping or whatever. Like I'm not used to that. People just be ranting on there. I'm like I like commend people for that because like,
They have no shame. Yeah.
yeah,
You have no
yeah.
shame. I mean, that's like, first of all, that's like the breeding ground of like selfish people is LA. Like, come on now, you're in that. Like, they probably look at you like, why isn't she recording herself on her phone as she's walking down the street? She's weird,
I know.
because everybody else is doing it. You're like, shit, I don't want to be one of
I'm
those.
not like used to that. Like I've been doing it a little bit, but it's like sometimes I'm like when I look at when I play it back, I'm like, yo, I'm so awkward, but whatever. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like,
That's
so,
the best part of you, though, is like the non-rehearsed stuff. So we got to see more of that in 2021.
for sure, sure. I'm definitely gonna like break my shell open and like like just be more transparent and just out there now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So speaking of your show, before we end this lovely, lovely interview, can you make sure to drop all your social handles, where we can find your show, maybe where we can find some of your other work, like A Quiet Birthday, or even like the Kobe commercial, like where we can find all that stuff?
Oh man, I gotta send you links, but I send you links. But okay, so you can find me on Instagram, which is my name. It's Venus Venus dot Andaya Andaya. Same thing on Facebook, Venus Andaya. On YouTube for my YouTube channel, it's Life on Venus, and it may be hard to find, but it may be hard to find. But just put Life on Venus episode 1, you'll find me. You'll find me. And gosh, A Quiet Birthday. That's a link in my bio somewhere. On my Instagram, link in my bio, and I don't know. Like, oh yeah, the Kobe commercial is on my Instagram somewhere.
So basically just go to your Instagram and we're gonna have all the resources right there.
That's where I link everything at. So
Yes.
you find my Instagram, that's where everything is.
So you're golden if you come across, and I follow Venus on both my personal and my anti-socialite page. So if you guys are really having that much trouble finding her, just stalk my follower list and you will find her. You have to go follow her.
Gosh, do you have any more questions? Any more like random questions you want to ask?
Now I'm like, I'm on the spot. Let's see.
Like, dang, this is kind of short. I'm like, dang, now I'm all comfortable. Like maybe I should say a little more, but I'm like,
I know, right? You're like, sorry, plans are canceled after this. We're gonna keep going.
right.
This is like not even like that important, but since your episode where you tried out all those magnetic lashes, have you worn them since? Because I am so curious. You have? Okay.
I have.
Are you creeped out by them?
I was at first because I was just like magnets on your eyes, but then like I watched like a couple of videos and then like I watched some eye doctor put it on and she said it wasn't bad. So I'm like, I kind of want to take her word. That was confirmation, like, she's a doctor. I'm gonna just do it. But I just wanted to try it out because I just tried different stuff out. But yeah, I like them. I think probably the only thing, if you watched it, they have like a new like liner now. It's like goes on smoother. I wish I would have had that because the other one is a little like sloppy looking, like a little bit, but not as good as the new one. So
Okay.
I might go get that. But I love it because it's just like your lashes is just like boom, like it's just like a butterfly flapping. So like I love it.
I'm like, what's that breeze? Oh, it's just Venus blinking.
Let me just blink again. But yeah, I love them though.
Are you gonna try anything else out on your show?
Oh my god! I wanted to try on. Wait, I was before. I used to be really into nails. Like I used to get my nails done all the time. But since the pandemic, I'm like it's just like everything's closed. So I was thinking about using like trying out like press-ons.
Yes, that's gonna give us like real like 90s LA vibes. You're gonna get your door knocker earrings, your press-on nails,
Yeah,
like
press-on nails. And like the press-on nails these days are like really, really good. So like you can't really tell the difference. So I want to like try it out. I haven't found like a really good one that I've seen yet, but I've like watched like different videos of other people, so I might try to buy those. But yeah, like I want to try on press-ons because I was really like my hands like look like kid hands, like it's just all black.
you're talking to like the world's smallest hand owner. I get it. Even like a toddler's hands are bigger than mine, so I get it.
This is childish. Like, why do I don't have no nails? Like, and then even when I paint them, like it's like okay, but then like it still look like a little kid like learning how to do polish. Like, like I want nails. Like, hello. Like, I just want to tap on.
You're like, I want to click on things. Yeah.
Clack, clack. Like that's what I want to do. Like
Click, clack, clack. I know there's like a client of ours. She's from Turkey, I think, but she's like an Instagram YouTuber, you know, all this stuff. And her daughter goes to college here in Boston. And she came in like over the winter, and I was just like, oh my God, like I love your nails. They're so amazing. She's like, girl, they're like press-ons. I got them at CVS. I was like, no way. And then like literally like went to like Walgreens like weeks later, and I saw them there. I'm like, she wasn't like, because it was like a matte green with like bling on it. And I was like, she really wasn't lying. They really were press-ons. I was like, damn. And she has like all these thousands of followers, and she's always, and I'm like, and she really just was like, boop, boop, boop.
right. Like, what?
Yeah, but they looked like they were professionally done. I was like, damn, like I applaud her.
Right.
You could
I want
do
to try
that.
that. Hopefully it lasts long. That's my thing. Cause I'm too into stuff, and then like I just know like 5 of them will fly off when I'm doing something.
You'll be on set and your index finger's like totally missing, and you got the other, you're like, whatever.
Like it'll be like one like one going. Like yeah, so yeah.
You're like click, clack, clack with only 2 of them. You're like,
exactly. It'll be all uneven. I'm trying to type. Like that's happened before.
You gotta type with your finger, like on your, you know, boop, 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 boop.
Right.
Not
like,
the nail.
But yeah, I'm definitely I'm just a person that try out new stuff. So you'll probably see more stuff like that.
Good. I cannot wait. Venus, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy. You're on your way to a shoot right now. So thank you for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Just thank you for just like letting me be awkward and all that because I'm thank
Girl,
you.
You're in good company. You are in good company.
Yeah, thank you for making me feel comfortable. Thank you so much.
Of course, and you can always do a Zoom interview, recorded or not recorded, if you ever need practice. So it's like, I'm here for you. Don't worry.
Yay, so excited. Thank you, Katie. Oh, you're so amazing.
Love you.
You too.
Thanks, girl. All right, bye. That was perfect. Oh, wait, I thought I hit stop recording.